I'm currently still the leader of the party. Nothing has changed since we discussed this morning.
Chaos within the BC Conservative Party. The party says it's ousted its leader, but John Rustad says he's not going anywhere. Also, some real relief at the gas pump. What's behind the drop and how low prices are expected to go?
These are VIP tickets for some of the best locations inside BC Place.
World Cup kicks off in Vancouver in 6 months, but the city isn't keen on revealing details about its swanky suite packages bought by taxpayers. Everyone, it's Thursday, December 4th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. Well, if you're looking to save on gas, today might be the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey for us this morning. Good morning, Dimitra. So, what are prices like this morning?
Yeah, Carrie, I'm out here in Guilford, and prices are slightly lower out here, but overall, you're going to feel a little bit of relief when you're at the pump today. But let's get into what these prices really look like today here. Again, in Guilford, slightly lower than what we're seeing in Vancouver, but for regular gas, it's about $1.49 and $1.79 for premium, both dropping 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday is where we saw a real drop, both regular and premium dropping around a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. So again, these are below average prices. This is all according to Gas Wizard, is where we're getting our data from. So if you're looking for a little bit of a relief, today's the day. And if your gas tank is looking just like mine, which is slightly below half, you may want to hit the pump and take advantage of those prices. Carrie?
Finally, a bit of good news. Thanks for that. Dimitra Maragos joining us from Surrey. Well, the BC Conservative Party is left to pick up the pieces this morning after declaring John Rustad out as leader. However, Rustad says he's not going anywhere. In a social media statement, Rustad said, quote, "I have not resigned. I have not been removed. I am not going anywhere." This after the Conservatives' Board of Directors passed a motion deeming Rustad, quote, "professionally incapacitated and unable to continue as leader." The vote came after a majority of caucus told the party's legal counsel they had lost confidence in Rustad's leadership. Party members then chose MLA Trevor Halford as interim leader.
What I've been calling for is stability, and I think it's paramount that we get stability inside of our caucus. I think it's paramount that we get stability with our party.
With the fall sitting of the legislature now officially over, it's still not clear who the leader of the official opposition is. The Conservative caucus is expected to meet in the coming days to figure out next steps. Well, Premier David Eby is trying his best to hold on to 350 jobs at a pulp mill slated for permanent closure. Domtar announced the closure of its Crofton facility earlier this week, sending the Cowichan Valley reeling. Learning about the loss of hundreds of good-paying jobs right before the holidays has been devastating. The company claims tariffs aren't the main issue, instead blaming the closure on government regulations.
Once you lose those, they're pretty hard to get back. And these are people who, they shop at our local businesses, that contribute a lot to our local economy.
We're all hands on deck to try to figure out if there's some way to keep this facility operating.
The issue is fiber supply, and so if we can't do it, it's a real challenge for anybody to come in.
Domtar says logging approvals that used to take weeks now take years, and that they've been importing wood fiber from the U.S. to keep the operation running. Well, 4 more bears in Bella Coola have been captured to be tested to determine if they were involved in a brutal attack on students and teachers last month. The BC Conservation Officer Service says in an online post that the 4 animals were safely captured yesterday and evidence is being collected for testing. It adds the 4 other bears captured last week were successfully released after forensic evidence confirmed they were not associated with the attack. 3 children and a teacher were badly injured after a trio of bears attacked the group of 20 during a field trip last month. Well, the mayor of Surrey is warning the new ballooning budget from the Surrey Police Service will mean a hefty property tax hike for residents. But critics say she's playing politics. Brenda Locke strongly opposes the $91 million increase in the Surrey Police Service's provisional budget of more than $330 million. She says the increase will fall on the taxpayers and result in an 18% property tax hike. Her response is something that took the chair of the Surrey Police Board by surprise.
Is to ensure SPS has the resources required to keep Surrey safe. We requested a meeting with mayor and council. I believe we're at 3 times now through the board and have not had a response yet.
City Councillor Linda Annis is refuting Locke's position. She says the funding for this increase is there and increases should be expected. Well, there's disappointment this morning after the man convicted of killing 22-year-old Chelsea Gauthier failed to apologize in court. 70-year-old Gary Loesch was found guilty in July of manslaughter and indignity to human remains in Gauthier's 2017 stabbing death. The young Indigenous mother left behind 2 children. On Tuesday, Loesch was brought to tears in court while listening to 11 emotional victim impact statements. Friends and family aren't convinced he's remorseful.
If he was sorry, he would have said something prior. He's had multiple years and multiple opportunities to admit to something, to apologize, and he is only doing it now.
Loesch is currently out on bail after a psych assessment found he was medium risk for future violence. The Crown is asking for 14 years, while the defense wants 10. The hearing will resume later this month. A BC man will spend 2 years under house arrest in Kelowna for stabbing a stranger outside a nightclub in Banff back in 2022. 23-year-old John Sproul was originally convicted of second-degree murder in the killing of Ryan Brogdon, but later found guilty of manslaughter. In September 2022, Sproul asked the victim for a cigarette and a violent fight broke out. It ended with Brogdon being stabbed 19 times. Yesterday, the judge says this was a case of self-defense that went too far.
Any sentence can do to get over the fact that he took another young man's life, so it's something he's going to be living with for the rest of his life.
The Crown had argued Sproul should be sentenced to between 5 and 6 years. Some members of the victim's family walked out of the courtroom visibly upset in the middle of sentencing. Well, a deadly collision involving a pedestrian in Burnaby is under investigation. Mounties say it happened on Kingsway near Edmund Street just after 7 p.m. Monday night. They say the driver remained on scene but aren't sharing any details about the victim or the vehicle. Investigators are seeking dash cam video and witnesses as they try to figure out what happened in the moments leading up to the collision. Well, the TransLink Board of Directors have voted against HandyDart moving away from a third party. Service will remain being run by the French multinational company Transdev. This comes after several speakers and a board member pushed back on the decision. TransLink says the approved plan will also include new software that enables online trip booking and cancellations, real-time vehicle location monitoring, and a simpler HandyDart registration process. The plan also says it extends HandyDart service hours from midnight to 2 a.m. Well, the first road trip in Vancouver GoldenEye's history has come to an end on a sour note.
And Hartnett's on a one-timer. Loose in front. Oh, what a great save, but it goes! The rebound finds its way through.
The expansion side came up short last night against the Boston Fleet, losing 2-0. After winning their opening game, the GoldenEyes had a rough stretch away from the Pacific Coliseum, losing all 3 games on the road. The GoldenEyes now return home to host the New York Sirens on Saturday at noon. Well, and it's a very special day for us on Your Morning Vancouver. We are down at Guildford Town Centre to kick off Toy Mountain. And that's where we find our Caroline right in the thick of things this morning. And we're going to be waiting for the next couple of days for that mountain of toys to be built, Caroline.
Yes. Yes. Well, right now, hi, everybody. Good morning. Right now, it's a little molehill, if you will. Not quite a mountain yet, but by tomorrow night, it will be up at the top of the elevator. It's true. I've seen it. So come on down and see us. Yes, we're at Guilford Town Center raising funds and also collecting toys, new unwrapped toys for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Put some smiles on kids' faces. And now till 10 o'clock, Triple O's is giving away a free breakfast, a free Sunny Start breakfast. So come, make kids happy and fill your belly. All right? Yes. Come see us. Come say hi. All right. Now let's take a look at the forecast quickly. Right now, it is rainy and it is cool out there. Yeah, it was quite wet as I was driving up here to Guilford Town Center. We also have a weather warning to tell you about. Freezing rain around 100 Mile, Watson Lake, 2 to 5 millimeters. Now, this is a yellow warning. What does that mean? It means hazardous weather is on the way. It's more common, closest to an advisory over a watch or a warning. What's my point? Be aware. As for your day ahead for Vancouver, showers off and on throughout the day and into the evening and a high of 7. So get your raincoat on, grab your umbrella, grab your new unwrapped toys, or bring your wallet. We're accepting donations, all in honor of, we have donations. We have donations. Let's take a look. Our first donations, yay! We're going to help build a mountain and put smiles on kids' faces for the holiday, all for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Come see us. Back to you, Carrie.
Yeah, drop off a toy or make a donation, and it's also good for the gram. Yeah. Caroline, thanks for that. We'll talk to you later. I'll check back with you throughout the morning. I love Toy Mountain Day. Well, have you ever come face-to-face with someone who looks exactly like you? We have the story of a meeting between doppelgangers that changed their lives. That's still to come. Also, winter tires aren't just for snowy roads. Our own Ben Nesbitt gets behind the wheel to see what happens with different conditions. And
VIP tickets for some of the best locations inside BC Place.
World Cup kicks off in Vancouver in 6 months, but the city is not keen on revealing details about its swanky suite packages paid for by taxpayers. We'll have that story coming up right after the break here on Your Morning Vancouver. Welcome back, everyone. The World Cup starts in 6 months, but there are still plenty of unknowns about the cost to taxpayers. Local independent journalist Bob Mackin wanted to find out about the millions of dollars set aside by the city of Vancouver to buy pricey lounge and suite packages. And this morning, he's sharing his Freedom of Information results, or lack thereof, with CTV News. Shannon Patterson reports.
When BC Place hosts 7 World Cup matches next year, some spectators will watch from the comfort of very swanky and very expensive lounges and private suites.
These are VIP tickets for some of the best locations inside BC Place for the World Cup matches that are coming here in June and July.
As a World Cup host, FIFA offered Vancouver early access to VIP suite and lounge packages at face value that the city could turn around and sell to large companies and regional sponsors, presumably for a profit.
All they told me back in July was that they got about $13.4 million set aside to make these purchases.
So the editor of the Breaker News made a Freedom of Information request to the city of Vancouver.
I made that FOI request to find out how much they ordered and how much they were invoiced for, and what I got back was grayed out, redacted, censored. They don't want us to know how many tickets and suites and lounges they bought and how much they paid.
The redacted documents didn't reveal if the city has managed to resell any of the VIP suites and lounge tickets it bought with taxpayer dollars.
They can't keep this hidden from us forever. I've complained to the Information Privacy Commissioner.
This is 100% an accountability issue. If the city of Vancouver is going to use taxpayer money to essentially act as a ticket scalper, we deserve to know exactly how much money they spent, how much interest they've received, and whether or not this ends up being a good deal for taxpayers.
In an email, the city would only confirm that any ticket purchases it's made are in support of FIFA's sponsorship program, which generates revenue to offset the hosting costs.
Will they be able to sell all these tickets and packages, and to whom? In this economic environment, when so many companies are looking at cutting back and laying off staff, the question is, will there be any clients for this package?
It's a question the city doesn't seem prepared to answer. Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Well, with colder weather on the way, experts are reminding drivers to prepare their vehicles, especially when it comes to having the right tires. Our Ben Nesbitt saw firsthand just how big of a role they play.
And suddenly, brake.
It happens quickly. You're cruising along when suddenly you're forced to hit the brakes. Experts say the tires on your vehicle will likely be a key factor in what happens next.
That winter tire is going to give you the best vehicle control, the best acceleration from a stop, the best braking.
Dan Guilfoyle is a driving instructor at the Justice Institute of BC. He says when temperatures dip below 7 degrees, all-season tires become less effective.
Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Now.
Wednesday, he gave us a chance to test this out, putting us through a series of maneuvers on the track. First, in a vehicle with all-season tires. Then another with winters.
A lot of people run with the all seasons, the mud and snows. They are not going to have the same vehicle control.
We also tested out bringing the vehicle to a stop from 50 and 60 kilometers an hour. The difference was more than a car's length.
That speed is going to be the difference between stopping before an accident or actually colliding with the vehicle ahead of you.
As winter sets in, drivers are reminded to slow down, prepare their vehicles, and follow speed limits so everyone makes it home safely. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Pitt Meadows.
Well, a Victoria woman says the greatest gift is finding a stranger who looks just like you. Coming up, Doppelganger Delight. How two identical strangers have had their lives changed by meeting their mirror image. That's just ahead. Also, students are working hard ahead of Christmas to create toys for kids with disabilities. We'll take you inside this Santa workshop, still to come. But first, it's going to look like Santa's workshop in the next few hours. This is a live shot of where Toy Mountain is going to be built at Guilford Town Centre as the community supports families in need. We're checking in to see what's happening there with Caroline coming up right after the break, so stick around.
Today is CTV's Toy Mountain. We're at Guilford Town Centre today and tomorrow, collecting new unwrapped toys in support of the local Mainland Christmas Bureau. Come say hi, drop off your donation, and together we'll put smiles on a whole lot of faces for the holidays. Can't make it out, but still want to help? We got you. Donate online at ctvvancouver.ca. Toy Mountain is made possible by our friends at Alpine Credits, Applewood Auto Group, and Triple O's.
Yeah, and Caroline, you are down at Toy Mountain all morning this morning, and we're going to watch the mountain of toys grow. And I love how this really is about businesses, the community coming together to really make a difference in the lives of families.
Yeah, everyone's getting along. Everyone has the same goal, to make children and families happy during the holidays. How do you not love that? And do you know what else is something really worthy to love? If you come and donate a toy all morning through 10 o'clock, Triple O's will be supplying you with a free breakfast, a Sunny Start breakfast courtesy of Triple O's. So come put smiles on kids' faces and fill your belly in the process. We already had a donation. The last time I was speaking to you, Carrie, we had someone come and give a donation. So the mountain is slowly growing. As I said, we only started about 30 minutes ago. We already have some toys. By tomorrow night, it is going to be reaching the top of this elevator, and a lot of people will be very, very happy for that. We've got a lot of generous, wonderful people here in the Lower Mainland in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. But right now, let's talk about the weather, shall we? It is a rainy one out there. Take a look at your almanac. 7 degrees is the high today, which is the average. Last year, it was chilly, only 4 degrees. Look at the record set back in 1939. Record was 14 degrees. We're not coming close to that. Your forecast highs for the province look like this. Pretty wet throughout the province. Some mixed precipitation in the southern interior. And, of course, the warning around 100 Mile House, some freezing rain there. As for your 5-day for the city of Vancouver, rain, 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 rain. There it is. Thank you. Some breaks this afternoon, but a whole lot of rain, but pretty mild, approaching the double digits, if not in the double digits for a couple of those days. So get your umbrella out, put your rain boots on, get your waterproof gear on, grab your new unwrapped toy or your wallet. We're accepting cash donations, and help put smiles on kids' faces for Toy Mountain in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Carrie?
Wonderful. And I know that our friends at Move 103.5 are down there. Also, Nira and Holly from Virgin Radio are there as well. So can't wait to check in without them throughout the morning.
Drew, say hi.
Yeah, hi. Good to see you, Drew.
Say hi.
All right.
Holly and Nira, say hi. They're on the air. They're
hey,
working.
Ladies. Oh, amazing. Well, it's a team effort down there.
Pros.
Caroline, thanks for that. We'll check in with you throughout the morning. All right. Have you ever been scrolling online and found something unexpected? Well, that's what happened to one Victoria woman who thought she was staring back at herself on a stranger's profile, but that sparked an online connection that turned into a real-life friendship. CTV's Adam Sawatsky reports.
When Felicia Harding looked at her phone that day, she never expected to see a stranger smiling from the screen who looked just like her.
I was blown away. She really did look like me.
She was Brittany Delaney, who was also surprised when a friend said she found her doppelganger on social media.
If I wouldn't have been looking at somebody else's profile, I would have thought they were photos of me.
After connecting online, Brittany and Felicia finally met in person.
And it was like this out-of-body experience where I felt like this is how people see me.
They found their similarities range from the superficial, like being able to unlock each other's phones and liking exactly the same beer, to the more substantial, like both working as entrepreneurs and both picking musicians as their partners.
There's a million things that are same.
They formed a fast friendship, and Brittany was invited to Felicia's wedding, where, after family kept mixing them up, the women decided to do a DNA test.
A little surprised in finding out that we were both not related at all.
Although they aren't long-lost siblings, both women do feel like sisters. Even Brittany's son often can't tell them apart.
And they have like a crazy bond. He just loves her.
Loves her so much that if you show the boy a picture of Felicia and ask who it is...
It's the other mama.
The other mama.
Yes.
Which brings us to the women's big difference. Their fertility journeys. Felicia hasn't been able to have kids.
Feeling like an auntie and, feeling like other mama. Like, to me, that's really special.
But the greatest gift in finding your doppelganger, they say, is seeing yourself from a whole new perspective.
Felt, I don't know, almost a little bit healing for me, because sometimes there are things you don't like about yourself, but then watching her and interacting with her, I was just like, oh, I think she's so lovely.
A sense of self-acceptance. That's perhaps a reminder to all of us to be kinder to the reflection we see in the mirror. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
Wow, they just look exactly the same. Insightful as well. Well, there could be some travel turbulence at another major airline.
A December strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated.
Labor problems are brewing at Air Transat, and with the Christmas crunch coming, this is not great timing. How soon they could strike? Just ahead. Also, will you be getting a break on your food bill in the new year? The food price report's just been released this morning, and it's not looking good. We'll have details ahead.
If you're planning on hitting the pump today, your wallet is going to feel a little bit of relief. According to Gas Wizard, prices are below average. We'll have all the details on Your Morning, Vancouver.
Good morning, everyone. We are getting a clear idea this morning of how much more expensive food is going to get in the coming year. The latest food price report has just been released, and it's expected your grocery bill will take up a much bigger share of your household budget in 2026. The report, produced by several Canadian universities, is projecting an average family of 4 will pay nearly $1,000 more for food in 2026 compared to this year. The report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. Some of the factors driving up food prices this year are the trade war, the end of Ottawa's tax holiday, and the soaring cost for beef. The report also expects chicken prices will go up substantially next year. Well, now for a bit of good news for you this morning. If you're looking to save on gas, today might be the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey for us this morning. Good morning, Dimitra. I filled up yesterday at $151.9. What are prices like this morning?
Yeah, Carrie, well, you would have saved a little bit more today. I'm here in Guilford, and I've seen several people taking advantage of these lower gas prices. But let's get into what the numbers really mean here. Now, according to Gas Wizard, right now in Vancouver, about $1.49 for regular and $1.79 for premium, both dropping around 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday is where we saw a real drop, both regular and premium dropping around a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. Now, so these gas prices are really fluctuating the last couple of days. I did speak to an expert earlier today, though, Dan McTagg, who says they look like they're about to stabilize, so take advantage within the next couple of days of those lower gas prices. Carrie?
Okay, well, a little bit of good news for us. We need that. Dimitra Maragos joining us. Thanks for that. Well, Ottawa is sending information about early retirement to almost 70,000 federal workers. Public servants receiving the letter do not have to make a decision right now. They're just being given information about their options. The federal budget calls for about 28,000 federal jobs to be cut by 2029. The government is said to be trying to reach its target through mostly attrition. This program is expected to start early next year. Workers will have a year to make up their minds. We're now hearing from former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault, who resigned last week over a disagreement in climate policy.
Needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
In an interview with CTV's Power Play, Guilbeault says the math just doesn't add up. He resigned hours after Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith unveiled a new memorandum of understanding that paves the way for a pipeline to BC. Guilbeault says Alberta's increase to its industrial carbon pricing is not enough to mitigate the rollback of other climate policies. He also believes Canada's goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050 is in jeopardy. Some holiday travel could be disrupted as Air Transat pilots have voted to go on strike as early as next week. The union says that 99% of pilots voted to walk off the job as part of their pressure tactics. The pilots say they want industry standard pay and better working conditions. They'll give 72 hours notice beforehand, but could go on strike next Wednesday.
Strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
Air Transat has struggled amid stiff competition for vacation destinations and a large debt burden. It's also dealing with engine recalls that have grounded 4 of its 43 planes. Well, just a day after being battered by a powerful winter storm, Atlantic Canada is bracing for a blast of bitter cold and more snowy weather.
Cold, damp, no power for quite a while, actually, this morning.
Well, it's Canada, so expect the unexpected, I guess.
Heavy snow, strong winds, and ice pellets knocked out power to thousands and shut down a major highway. The system's bringing a round of rain and snow today and then a deep chill into tonight. Wind chills are expected to drop to -30 into Friday morning. Well, despite U.S. President Donald Trump's push to buy American, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, is set to spend millions of dollars on a fleet of armored vehicles made by a Canadian defense manufacturer. The rush order with Canadian firm Rochelle came in late last month and is worth the equivalent of 10 million Canadian dollars. CTV's Rachel Iao has been digging into the contract and has more.
20 armored vehicles made by Brampton-based defense manufacturer Rochelle are set to be delivered to U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement agents before the end of the year. The rush order from ICE came in late last month and is worth the equivalent of 10 million Canadian dollars. According to U.S. procurement documents, Rochelle is uniquely positioned to fulfill the requirement within the necessary time frame, having confirmed immediate availability of vehicles that fully meet ICE specifications.
The government is not involved in the transaction.
The department enacting the U.S. administration's mass deportations has been accused of abusing human rights. Asked if the Canadian government had any concerns about the contract in light of this, the foreign minister wouldn't say.
We have not received any questions or permit requests regarding this transaction, and I will continue to reiterate that Canada and the United States have a strong bilateral relationship with an open line of communication in which, if necessary, I will raise the issues with Secretary Rubio.
Rochelle's made-in-Canada armored vehicles have been sent to the front lines in Ukraine, though the company also set up shop south of the border last year, ahead of U.S. President Donald Trump enacting his Buy American agenda. Rochelle did not respond to questions by our deadline about where the armored vehicles ICE ordered are originating. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, Spotify Wrapped is out, revealing this year's top music trends.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
In Canada, Drake led streams, followed by Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen, The Weeknd, and Kendrick Lamar. Alex Warden's Ordinary was the top song, while Wallen's I'm the Problem topped albums. Globally, Bad Bunny claimed the top artist spot for the fourth year, and Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars' hit Die With a Smile was the most streamed track with over 1.7 billion plays. I do love that song. All right, we are down at Toy Mountain at Guilford Town Centre, and that's where Caroline is for us this morning. You're looking very festive, by the way. I just want to compliment your little hat.
My chapeau. Oh, Carrie, just you wait. It lights up.
Oh.
But it's far too early for that.
Stay tuned, people.
Yeah. How's that for a little tease? All right, of course, as Carrie said, I'm here at Guilford Town Centre for Toy Mountain. It is day one. It is actually, we're not even an hour in yet. It runs today and tomorrow here at Guilford Town Centre, all in the name of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Come donate a new unwrapped toy. We're also taking cash donations, monetary donations as well. And you can't smell it, but I can. Triple O's is sponsoring breakfast for every single person that donates until 10 o'clock this morning. I'll also be here tomorrow. It smells so good, the Sunny Start breakfast. You'll love it. Who doesn't love a full belly of coffee? So grab your raincoat. You're going to need it with your unwrapped toy because it is raining out there, friends. Let's take a look at the forecast. It is rainy. It is cool. And we also have a weather warning in effect. Freezing rain around 100 Mile. Watson Lake, 2 to 5 millimeters will fall through late this morning. It's a yellow advisory, and it's more of a watch, more of a warning, so please do take care out there. As for your day ahead, showers off and on throughout the day and into the evening, and we are hitting a high of 7 degrees. But the reason why we're here at Guilford Town Centre is, of course, for Toy Mountain, all for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau, and it wouldn't be possible without all of you who donate, and to the very generous sponsors, very generous corporate sponsors like Trail Appliances. And funny, joining me now, Gloria Tang from Trail Appliances. Thank you for joining me here today.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Gloria. Now, how long have you been donating to Toy Mountain?
Yeah, so Trail Appliances have been donating for 9 years now. We've always been a big supporter of our local community, so we want to give back.
As you should. Now, with so many charity options, why do you choose Toy Mountain?
So Trail Appliances is BC owned and family operated. So the local community is very important to us, and we just thought Toy Mountain is a great cause, and so we wanted to give back.
Now, why is it so important to you personally and to your company to donate to the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau?
Yeah, for sure. To me and to the company, families and children deserve a very happy and bright Christmas, and Toy Mountain is the exact meaning of that. So I think everyone should come donate as well.
I think so too. Thank you, Gloria. And speaking of generous donations, Nessie here has a check donated by Trail Appliances, a whole wad of cash. Yes, of course, we are taking cash donations if you can't bring an unwrapped toy. But thank you so much, Gloria, and to Trail Appliances for this very generous donation. This is going to put a lot of smiles on a lot of kids' faces for the holidays. So thank you so much. Let's send it back to you, Carrie.
Wow, $1,600 from Trail Appliances.
$1,600.
Nicely done.
Yes, look at this. This is generous.
Yeah, that's going to do a lot of good for the community. That's why I love Toy Mountain. Thanks for that, Caroline. We'll check back in with you throughout the morning. That's so good to see. Well, this holiday season, the Buy Canadian movement is being put to the test. We're going to find out if shoppers are still looking for the maple leaf label before buying a product. We'll have that conversation coming up in our next half hour. But first,
turns on the near side. McKinnon scores.
The Vancouver Canucks, well, they keep losing. So how are fans feeling heading into a busy weekend of action? And can the team turn things around? Your Ringside Report's coming up.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by
Capital Direct.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks have a busy weekend with back-to-back games on Friday and Saturday. But as CTV's Ben Milger reports, fans may be losing interest only a third of the way into the season. And even worse, the captain could be too. Here's this week's Ringside Report.
Nice pass on the left wing. Archie Payne centers. Carlson scores.
This Linus Karlsson goal early in the first was about all the Canucks had to celebrate in a 3-1 loss to the Colorado Avalanche.
It's tough to lose. We need the points right now, so I mean it's frustrating. But I don't think we played bad.
On their 4-game road trip, the Canucks beat the Ducks and then lost 3 straight to San Jose, LA, and Colorado. They've only won twice in the last 7 games and have just 10 total wins on the season.
This is a flawed roster. This is a team that was poorly constructed, hasn't been able to withstand those injuries. There isn't nearly enough depth.
Following Tuesday night's loss in Colorado, the Canucks now sit 30th out of 32 teams in the National Hockey League, just 1 point out of last place.
The irony in all of this is that the Canucks were trying to prove to Quinn Hughes that they could build a contending roster around him, and yet they've fallen flat on their face. And so you can understand his frustration.
That frustration clearly evident on this third period play against the Avalanche, where Hughes seemed to let up on the back check, allowing Colorado a grade A scoring chance. Even if it doesn't always lead to results, the captain continues to wow most nights in the offensive zone. But there are no moral victories here.
Wins are the most important thing. If you lose, but you lose 3-1 and not 5-1 or whatever not, you're still losing.
With a season and a half left on his contract and no trade protection, Hughes' value on the block may never be higher than it is now. But if the Canucks part with their captain and his generational talent, morale in the fan base may hit an all-time low. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by Capital Direct.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Well, from holiday tree lighting to Spotify Wrapped, the holiday season is here. A double dose of hilarious headlines is coming up. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon have your late laugh just ahead. On this day in 2015, 50 years after their last show, a new statue of the Beatles was unveiled in the UK. Stick around, we have your milestones next.
Hey everybody. Welcome back to CTV, your morning Vancouver. I am here at the Guilford Town Center for Toy Mountain. It's kind of a toy molehill right now because we just started. We're not even an hour in, friends. Runs today, tomorrow, in honor of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau, which has been putting smiles on kids' faces in the Lower Mainland since 1930. So come on down here, bring a new unwrapped toy or a cash donation, and fill your belly full of triple O's. They're giving away breakfast until 10 o'clock if you bring a donation. Sunny Start breakfast. You love to see it. You don't love to see this. A whole lot of rain. Let's take a look at your forecast now, beginning with your almanac. It is 7 degrees. That will be the high today, which is the average. Last year, though, look at that. It was chilly, 4 degrees. The record, we're not coming anywhere near close to that. 14 degrees set back in 1939. Here's a look at your forecast highs for the province. Pretty wet throughout. 'Tis the season. It's December. This is what we got here, friends. Southern interior, a whole lot of mixed precipitation and some showers along the coast. Bundle up, friends, and keep your umbrella out because look at your next 5 days for Vancouver. Rain. Yeah, we have some breaks this afternoon, but mostly rain. Temperatures pretty mild, hovering around the double digits, but rain. Have I said rain? Rain. And that is it for me.
Time now for your milestones. First up this morning, happy 10th birthday to Killian. Have a great day. Love from Mom, Dad, Grandpas Jim and Scott, both of them.
Happy first birthday to Dolly. Love from Ida, your family, and all your dog pals, especially Marley and Lexi.
Happy birthday, Big 4-0 to Mr. Spud, a.k.a. Mark Jenner. Lots of love from Sheila.
Happy birthday to my loving dog, Saint, from your mom, Alexandria. Woof, woof.
Beautiful. And happy birthday, Jonathan, from all your friends and colleagues at CTV Vancouver. We give you the gift of a long weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's off today.
That's lovely.
And tomorrow.
Well, send us your milestones to bcmilestones@ctv.ca, and maybe you'll get those days off, too.
Actually didn't know it was his birthday.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, happy birthday, Jonathan. Surprise. All right, well, the holiday season is here. Here's a double dose of hilarious headlines. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon have your late laugh.
Tens of thousands of people attended the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting. The crowd out there is crazy. Today I was walking to work and the riptide of people carried me out to New Jersey. Oh. But the tree is lit and it's the official start of the holiday season. That's right. It's the start. It's that special time of year when every mall Santa wakes up from hibernation. It's like, whiskey, whiskey. Well, switching gears, the Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS just announced their holiday shipping deadlines. Yep, the FedEx and UPS deadline is December 23rd, and the Postal Service deadline is last Easter.
We're 3 weeks from Christmas, and the end of the year lists have begun to emerge. This morning, you get that annual Spotify Wrapped list on your phone of what we've been listening to this year. Did you get this thing? It's always interesting. You get a little taste of how secretly old or gay you are. In my case, the fourth year, the most played artist on Spotify in the world is Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny. You know the guy Trump said he's never heard of? Bad Bunny's #1. So I guess somebody's heard of him. So Spotify did something new this year. They give you your listening age. They guess how old you are based on the music you like. Mine is so old, they didn't even give me a listening age. They just sent me a bottle of fiber gummies in the mail. This Spotify, they really have it figured out. They spy on you all year is what they do. And then December comes around, they're like, we've been watching you. And we're like, awesome. What'd you find out? I don't know why other companies don't do this.
Did you unwrap your Spotify Wrapped?
I sure did unwrap it, and it's always the same every year. It's Taylor Swift at the top of my list.
Right, I could have predicted that.
Yeah, and then Sabrina Carpenter, who collaborates with Taylor.
What's your listening age?
25.
Okay.
So I'm 29.
Well, I'm sad to say that my listening age is older than my actual age. It's very disappointing.
What decade is it?
Like, older.
Okay.
But I actually didn't listen to a lot of music this year, I realized. I was more into podcasts.
Right.
And the song that and this is unexpected for me, I didn't even realize this, the song that I listened to most out of any song was David Bowie, Modern Love.
Oh.
Which I do love that song, but I didn't know that would end up on top, so.
You're just a lover girl at heart.
Yeah, I am.
Love it.
Modern love. Okay, well, liquor store staff found something unexpected after an overnight break-in. Uh-oh. We're going to tell you where a raccoon was found with a bit of a hangover after going on a bender through the store aisles. Uh-oh. We'll have that still to come, but he's not feeling too good. Also, 4 more bears have been captured in Bella Coola to check if they were associated with an attack that left 3 children and a teacher badly injured. Plus,
do you plan to step down? I mean, there's been all this opposition.
I'm not stepping down, guys. I've got to get into it.
controversy for the BC Conservative Party, saying it has ousted John Rustad as leader. He says, not so fast. We have your top stories next.
I'm currently still the leader of the party. Nothing has changed since we discussed this morning.
Well, is he in or is he out? The BC Conservative Party says it's ousted its leader, but John Rustad says he's not going anywhere. Finally, some relief at the gas pump. What's behind the drop in prices and how low they're expected to go? And drunk as a skunk, except this is a raccoon, the critter that broke into a liquor store and got blackout drunk after making quite a mess. Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, December 4th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. Well, if you're looking to save on gas, today's the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey for us this morning. Good morning, Dimitra. For the first time in a long time, prices under $1.50.
Yeah, Carrie, that's music to my ears, and a lot of people at the pump taking advantage this morning here in Guildford. But yeah, as you mentioned, if you're looking to fill up, today might be the day your wallet is going to feel a little bit of relief. Now, the prices here in Guildford slightly lower than in Vancouver, so let's get into what the numbers are and what they mean and what's behind all this. Now, again, this is all according to Gas Wizard. Right now in Vancouver, it's about $1.49 for regular and $1.79 for premium, both dropping around 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday is where we saw a real drop, both regular and premium dropping around a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. Now, we spoke with Dan McTagg from Canadians for Affordable Energy. He says this drop in prices has to do with the BP pipeline south of the border in Washington.
Leak. They found 2 of them, actually, one on the main line and one near Seattle, and that caused prices to go up a little bit, but all seems to be stable now.
Now, again, these are the lowest prices McTagg says drivers can expect. But if you're looking to save a little bit more, he says try hitting the pumps after 5 or 6 o'clock, where retailers tend to drop the prices a little bit more. Carrie?
We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, Dimitra Maragos joining us this morning. Thanks for that. Well, the BC Conservative Party is left to pick up the pieces this morning after declaring John Rustad out as leader. However, Rustad says he's not going anywhere. In a social media statement, Rustad said, quote, "I have not resigned. I have not been removed. I am not going anywhere." This after the Conservatives' board of directors passed a motion deeming Rustad, quote, "professionally incapacitated and unable to continue as leader." The vote came after a majority of caucus told the party's legal counsel they had lost confidence in Rustad's leadership. Party members then chose MLA Trevor Hulford as interim leader.
Been calling for is stability, and I think it's paramount that we get stability inside of our caucus. I think it's paramount that we get stability with our party.
With the fall sitting of the legislature now officially over, it's still not clear who the leader of the official opposition is. The Conservative caucus is expected to meet in the coming days to figure out next steps. Well, Premier David Eby is trying his best to hold on to 350 jobs at a pulp mill slated for permanent closure. Domtar announcing the closure of its Crofton facility earlier this week, sending the Cowichan Valley reeling. Learning about the loss of hundreds of good-paying jobs right before the holidays has been devastating. The company claimed tariffs are not the main issue, instead blaming the closure on government regulations.
Once you lose those, they're pretty hard to get back.
And these are people who, they shop at our local businesses that contribute a lot to our local economy.
We're all hands on deck to try to figure out if there's some way to keep this facility operating.
The issue is fiber supply, and so if we can't do it, it's a real challenge for anybody to come in.
Well, Domtar says logging approvals that used to take weeks now take years, and that they've been importing wood fiber from the U.S. to keep the operation running. Well, 4 more bears in Bella Coola have been captured to be tested to determine if they were involved in a brutal attack on students and teachers last month. The BC Conservation Officer Service said in an online post that the 4 animals were safely captured yesterday and evidence is being collected for testing. It adds the 4 other bears captured last week were successfully released after forensic evidence confirmed they were not associated with the attack. 3 children and a teacher were badly injured after a trio of bears attacked the group of 20 during a field trip last month. The mayor of Surrey is warning the new ballooning budget from the Surrey Police Service will mean a hefty property tax hike for residents, but critics say she's playing politics. Brenda Locke strongly opposes the $91 million increase in the Surrey Police Service's provisional budget of more than $330 million. She says the increase will fall on the taxpayers and result in an 18% property tax hike. Her response is something that took the chair of the Surrey Police Board by surprise.
Is to ensure SPS has the resources required to keep Surrey safe. We requested a meeting with mayor and council. I believe we're at 3 times now through the board and have not had a response yet.
City Councillor Linda Annis is refuting Locke's position. She says the funding for this increase is there and increases should be expected. Well, a group of UBC students have transformed their classroom into Santa's workshop. These biomedical engineering students are taking a break from designing next-generation medical devices to adapt toys for children with disabilities across the Lower Mainland. The students are partnering with the Makers Making Change program and retrofitting off-the-shelf toys to make them switch accessible so that kids with limited mobility can independently play.
Actual physical switch that you could push with your cheek, you can push with your elbow, you can push with your leg, whatever part of your body has the most strength and control, you can use that to control the toy.
I think it's really important that engineers and undergraduate students like myself can see ourselves making this huge impact towards community. We're not, doing it just as a profession, but we're doing it for a passion of helping others in need.
This is wonderful. The group says commercially adapted accessible toys can cost more than $300, and the students' modified toys are a fraction of that cost. Now the program will team up with Santa to deliver these toys before Christmas morning. That's great work. Well, police in Virginia were called to a liquor store after someone broke in, drank a large amount of booze, and then passed out. The suspect, a very intoxicated raccoon. When police arrived on scene, they found the masked bandit asleep on the bathroom floor next to the toilet, no less. It appears that the animal had broken into the store, ransacked several shelves, and after sampling some of the product, went into the restroom and passed out. The officer took the drunk raccoon to an animal shelter to sober up. It was eventually released back into the wild. A little hungover, perhaps, but no worse for wear. Uh-oh, that'll serve him. Well, Toy Mountain is back for another year. We are at Guilford Town Centre today and tomorrow collecting toys and donations to help families in need. And that's where we find our Caroline this morning, looking very festive and watching Toy Mountain grow. Just in the early stages right now, though, Caroline. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, Carrie, we've only been up and running this year for about an hour. The toys are already starting to compile, so you'll love to see it. The generosity of the folks here in the Lower Mainland, unmatched. And of course, this is all for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau, which has been in operation since 1930. And I'm standing, of course, next to the Triple O's here because they're giving away free breakfast to everyone who donates. And I mean, if you know me, you know I'm not ever very far from a coffee machine. But first, let's talk about the forecast. CTV weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. Take a look at the current temperature. In Vancouver, it is raining and it is cool. So grab your wet weather gear and get out the door. Bring your new unwrapped toy to Toy Mountain here. We also have a weather warning to tell you about. Freezing rain around 100 Mile, Watson Lake. 2 to 5 millimeters are expected to fall through late this morning. As for your day ahead, showers off and on throughout the day and into the evening. We're going to hit a high of 7 degrees. So once again, Carrie, I'm telling everyone to put on your wet weather gear, wrap up that unwrapped toy in some waterproof gear because it's going to rain today, and come visit our friends here at Triple O's for some coffee and a free breakfast. I'm going to have my about 47th coffee of the day today. Then I'm going to go play with some of the toys. Is that wrong?
No,
Carrie?
You deserve it. And you know what? Great that Triple O's is involved because it's always like a nice little bonus getting that breakfast sandwich when you drop off a toy or donate some money down at Toy Mountain. Cheers.
Sunny Start breakfast and coffee.
Dream come true. Thanks, Caroline. Well, a legendary Canadian children's entertainer has a powerful message.
I think the current times that we live in stress us out.
Still to come, what inspired Rafi to lend his voice to the political arena. But first, our shoppers still looking for the Maple Leaf label before buying a product. This holiday season, the Buy Canadian movement is being put to the test. That's coming up next. Well, as tariff negotiations with the United States drag on, are Canadians still committed to the Buy Canadian movement? The holiday season will be a test of price versus patriotism as best intentions and budgets go head-to-head. Joining us this morning to discuss this more is Morgan Westcott, Associate Dean of Marketing at BCIT. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
So is there a disconnect between what people think is important and what they're actually doing?
I think that is the question of the day. So we knew this even in the summer. There was some research that was conducted, a partnership actually with a local ad agency called 123 West, and they broke down the different types of Canadian shoppers based on what they were likely to do, their behavior, not just based on their intentions. And they did a pretty comprehensive breakdown, and not all Canadians, even back in the summer, were ready to or able to make the purchases that they wanted to make. Even those Canadians who were patriotic, or what they found were raging Canadians at 8%. Canadian origin is the defining factor for that market segment, but there are other factors for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about a year that we've had this Buy Canadian movement, and a lot of people came out really strong, but it maybe has waned a bit. But what groups of Canadians are most likely to stick with that buying Canadian idea?
Well, there's different ways of looking at target markets. So you can look at demographics, and so that includes being Canadian, but also things like gender or age or income. And then when we're thinking of these different market segments that were identified in the summer, those are more the psychographics, so the political leanings and their behaviors. I think, to give everyone a bit of grace this holiday season, not all Canadians are the same, but also not all life circumstances are the same. And I know I grew up with a single mom, and even though today she's in a different financial position and can make different choices with her spending, when I was a kid, it really was that price that was leading all of the purchases in our household.
Yeah, especially at this time of year when you are making additional purchases on top of the everyday, bills and food on the table and that kind of thing. So who are the most conflicted Canadians when it comes to their shopping habits, having to make that choice between buying Canadian, buying with what their values say they want to do, but then also having to balance that with the cost of living?
Well, in addition to those raging Canadians that I mentioned from the study, there are resentful Canadians, meaning that they really feel that resentment about what's happened politically, and they would switch from an American brand to a Canadian, but it's only one of the factors. And then you have, you use the word conflicted, perfect word, conflicted patriots. About 9% of the Canadians that were polled, they really felt that emotional engagement, but they were focused on getting the right product for their needs. And even 23% back in the summer said price before politics. So they're aware of the situation, but it's one of the many factors that are happening. those are just some of the different folks that are probably making some tough decisions at the till and in the store.
We know there's a lot of marketing brands that have really taken advantage of the movement. Are there any Canadian brands, Morgan, that have really benefited from the trade war?
Off the top of my head, it's hard to say. I would say in general, any company that did a good job to not just slap a maple leaf onto something, but really looked at the big picture and appealed to multiple things are going to be the ones that have led in this space. I also think it's important that even though if we look at the sales for consumer packaged goods at the beginning of the year, even though there's a bit of a decrease sometimes in volume or in dollars for made in Canada products or produced in Canada products, you have seen, or we have seen, a much larger decrease for made in the USA. So it could be that everyone's overall spending a little less, a little bit more budget conscious, and the decrease is larger for those made in USA products.
Well, we'll be watching this and see if it's here for the long run. It's not going away quite yet. Morgan Westcott, Associate Dean of Marketing at BCIT. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay, it's 7:17. Whether you're buying Canadian or not, you're likely keeping an eye on your food bills. What can we expect in the new year? Well, the food price report has just been released this morning, and it's not looking good. We'll tell you what you can expect to spend more on in 2026. Details ahead. But first,
I think the current times that we live in stress us out.
a legendary Canadian children's entertainer with a powerful message. What inspired Rafi to lend his voice to the political arena? Coming up. And well, 'tis the season for giving. We are live at Toy Mountain at Guilford Town Centre as the community comes together to support families in need in the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. And this has really grown, actually, since we started this morning just an hour ago. Stick around. We're going to check in with Caroline right after the break.
Today is CTV's Toy Mountain. We're at Guilford Town Centre today and tomorrow collecting new unwrapped toys in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Come say hi, drop off your donation, and together we'll put smiles on a whole lot of faces for the holidays. Can't make it out but still want to donate? You can. Donate online at ctvvancouver.ca. Toy Mountain is made possible by our friends at Alpine Credits, Applewood Auto Group, and Triple O's.
To all of our sponsors at Toy Mountain, and Caroline is down at Guilford Town Centre. There she is, looking very festive this morning, and it's such an effort by the entire community, Caroline, our sponsors, local businesses, and individuals that come down and drop off toys and money all morning.
Carrie, that's the beautiful part about it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Everybody comes together for a good cause to put smiles on children's faces for the holidays. Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau has been doing just that since 1930, and it's such an honor to be here today. So come on down to Guilford Town Centre, bring your new unwrapped toy or a cash donation, and help make Christmas a little bit brighter for some families in the Lower Mainland. But now let's take a look at the forecast. This isn't very bright. Yeah, it's rainy and it's cool out there. Yes, here's a look at your almanac. 7 degrees is the high today, which is the average. Last year, we were cold. It was 4 degrees. Look at the record, though. 14 set back in 1939. Not coming. We're close to that. Your forecast highs for the province look like this. Yeah, pretty wet throughout. 'Tis the season. It's December. Some mixed precipitation in the southern interior. Careful if you're out and about on the roads. Your 5-day for Vancouver, rain. Yeah, some breaks this afternoon, but basically it's going to be a wet next 5 days. Temperature's pretty mild, though, hovering right around the double digits. So I keep saying, put your umbrella, get your umbrella out, put your wet weather gear on, and come join us at Guilford Town Centre. Joining me now, come on in, Dina. Dina, hi, VP of Operations of Triple O's, and I've been kind of hovering around your stand because coffee, but Triple O's, another incredible sponsor yet again this year. Why is it so important that you're involved with Toy Mountain?
You know, I think we're thrilled to be here, Caroline, and I think it's really important to us as a brand and to support children and families in our communities. I think giving back to our neighbors and our communities is so important to us as a brand, and this is just the right fit for us. The Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau is such a wonderful organization, and I think we all know that the holidays can be tough for families and for children out there, and they do such a great job with this event to make sure that no child goes without, and that's really important to us, and to be a part of that is really special.
And also special that you give back to everyone who gives back. Everyone that brings a donation gets a free breakfast. That is until 10 o'clock today. Free breakfast. Now, I just want to know, how many Sunny Start breakfasts have you given out, and how many do you think you're going to be giving out this year?
Sure. We've done this event now for 10 years. This is our 10th year, and I asked the team before I got here today how many Sunny Starts we've served, and it's over 5,000 Sunny Starts that we've served. So I think today we're going to make it to 6,000.
Okay, well, Dina, I'm here, so maybe add another 1,000 onto that, make that 7,000. But wow, 5,000 Sunny Start breakfasts.
A small way that we can give back. So,
well, it's a lovely way of giving back. Thank you so much.
Delicious way.
A delicious way. All right, thank you, Gina. Triple O's, come on down again. Guilford Town Center, bring a new unwrapped toy in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau and get a free breakfast from Triple O's. Carrie.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks for that, Caroline. And say hi to our friends Nat and Drew from Move 103.5 and behind you there.
Say hi, Nat and Drew from 103.5.
Hi, guys. Good to see you. Thanks, Caroline. We'll check back in with you. Aw, wonderful. Well, for many families across the country, listening to Rafi's Christmas album is an annual holiday tradition. But this year, the beloved children's entertainer is singing a very different tune. CTV's Omar Sachedina reports.
I think the current times that we live in stress us out. I know this from my own experience. I hear it from friends and colleagues. These are tough times.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea. For decades, his songs have served as musical companions to millions around the world. Baby beluga. Young fans, now parents, sharing Rafi's voice with their own children.
There are beluga grads now in tens of millions of homes, and they often tell me what an emotional experience it is for them to relive their love of my music with their own kids. And that's music to my ears.
ABC democracy. But his latest release is more political. A response, he says, to the times we're living in.
We never thought that south of the border democracy would be challenged by the rise of fascism. I never, ever thought this would be the case. It's really important for families to be inspired to learn about a citizen's duty to keep a democracy alive and strong. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
Turn this world around. He hasn't been one to shy away from teaching life lessons to children. This song, inspired by the words of Nelson Mandela. Green dream, I have a green dream. Another creation called Green Dream is what he calls an anthem for a green future. Salam shalom. And this one, reminding the world about what unites us.
Side by side we live, salam shalom. It's about peace. Salam in Arabic means peace. Shalom in Hebrew means peace. It's all right there for us to embrace.
As somebody who chose not to have children, you have this remarkable ability to connect to millions of children around the world. Where does that come from?
Learning that a young child is a whole person, deserving of respect, was the key learning of my life. Respect has been the core value throughout my career. That's why I've never done any commercial endorsements. I've learned so much over the years, and I'm grateful to be able to put that learning into practice, musically, joyfully.
Wow. First of all, Rafi is a national treasure, and have enjoyed his music as a younger person over the years. I mean, Baby Beluga, how many times have you sang that? But now he's using his voice in such a different way, and really teaching some lessons about, especially right now where we're at in our lifetime.
ABC Democracy. That's my new tune in my head.
Democracy.
I love it. I think it's so incredible when folks like him, who seem, quite neutral, he's just singing songs that unite people, lend their voice to things like this. Like, get involved in politics. It's not
a spectator
It's not a spectator sport, so good for him.
Way to go, Rafi. Well, a shipping container loaded with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of relief supplies has been stolen.
In 3 weeks, we collect over, I would say maybe $300,000 to $400,000 worth of stuff.
Where the container was headed and how volunteers are hoping to get the donations back. Also slashing federal jobs. What we're learning about Ottawa's plan to shrink the size of Canada's public service. How many people will be affected? And a dip at the pump this morning. Why are gas prices in a free fall ahead of the holidays? There's a little bit of good news for you. Your top stories are coming up next. Welcome back. Good morning, everyone. You're watching Your Morning Vancouver. Well, if you're looking to save on gas, and why wouldn't you, today might be the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey this morning with more. Good morning, Dimitra. I thought I was getting a deal yesterday when I filled up at $151.9. Even better this morning.
Yeah, Carrie, just 24 hours later, your wallet could have saved a little bit more. You can see behind me people taking advantage of these lower gas prices here in Guilford. Now, the prices here in Guilford are slightly lower, but if you're joining us from Vancouver or filling up from Vancouver, you're still going to get a good deal. Now, let's get into those prices. Now, these are all according to Gas Wizard. Right now in Vancouver, it's about $1.49 for regular and $1.79 for premium, both dropping around 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday is where we saw a real drop, both regular and premium dropping around a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. Now, we spoke with Dan McTagg from Canadians for Affordable Energy. He says this drop in prices has to do with the Olympic pipeline south of the border, where 2 leaks were found, impacting the prices for us up north.
That was really a benefit because it dropped prices rather substantially in one fell swoop.
Now, McTagg says these are the lowest prices that we can expect within a couple of cents. Now, he says year to date, today, actually a year ago, it was about $1.70. So if you think these prices are high, well, a year ago, we were saving a lot less. Carrie?
Okay, Dimitra Maragos joining us this morning. Thanks. Well, Ottawa is pushing ahead with a plan to slash the size of the public service. Early retirement and pension waivers were sent out to about 68,000 public servants who may be eligible for the program. The feds want to cut the number of public servants by about 40,000. Just last month, the head of the union representing government workers said she didn't expect many members to sign up for early retirement because of the high cost of living. We're now hearing from former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault, who resigned last week over a disagreement in climate policy.
My government needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
In an interview with CTV's Power Play, Guilbeault said the math just doesn't add up. He resigned hours after Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith unveiled a new memorandum of understanding that paves the way for a pipeline to BC. Guilbeault says Alberta's increase to its industrial carbon pricing is not enough to mitigate the rollback of other climate policies. He also believes Canada's goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050 is in jeopardy. A handful of federal cabinet ministers will address the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa today. But 2 ministers helping to advance Prime Minister Mark Carney's push for major projects have been taken off the agenda. AFN chiefs unanimously passed a resolution calling for an MOU on a pipeline to BC's coast to be rescinded. Carney spoke with chiefs Tuesday in an attempt to quell their concerns about the agreement he signed with Alberta. Energy Minister Tim Hodgson and Defence Minister David McGuinty were scheduled to appear today, but are not on the list of speakers anymore. Well, some holiday travel could be disrupted as Air Transat pilots have voted to go on strike as early as next week. The union says that 99% of pilots voted to walk off the job as part of their pressure tactics. The pilots say they want industry standard pay and better working conditions. They'll give 72 hours notice beforehand, but could go on strike next Wednesday.
Strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
Air Transat has struggled amid stiff competition for vacation destinations and a large debt burden. It's also dealing with engine recalls that have grounded 4 of its 43 planes. A Calgary teen is facing charges relating to AI-generated child sexual abuse material. The Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team's Internet Child Exploitation Unit has charged a high school student after using a search warrant at a home November 13th. It's alleged that AI technology was used to sexualize photos of teen girls who attended several different high schools in the Calgary area.
The biggest takeaway from today is that we need people to understand that this is not a joke, it's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior.
Police are not identifying the suspect nor the high schools in order to protect the identity of the victims, who have all been provided with support services. Well, just a day after being battered by a powerful winter storm, Atlantic Canada is bracing for a blast of bitter cold and more stormy weather.
Damp, no power for quite a while, actually, this morning.
Well, it's Canada, so expect the unexpected, I guess.
Yeah, you couldn't say it any better than that. Heavy snow, strong winds, and ice pellets knocked out power to thousands, shut down a major highway. The system is bringing a round of rain and snow today, and then a deep chill into tonight. Wind chills are expected to drop to -30 into Friday morning. Well, a shipping container loaded with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of relief supplies has been stolen. It was destined for those affected by the hurricane that struck Jamaica, and now volunteers are hoping the public can help get their donations back. CTV's Rahim Ladani has details.
We actually was packing from here.
Michael Bennett and other volunteers have been gathering donations to send to Jamaica after the country was devastated by Hurricane Melissa. But when they came to their storage facility to load a 20-foot truck this morning, everything was gone.
For someone just to take it like that, it's hard to deal with that.
Bennett says he was shown security footage captured by the company Public Storage in Mississauga.
This is the lock that was cut.
He says it shows a flat truck break through a locked gate, back up to this blue trailer where the barrels and crates of goods were stored. The truck was loaded up before driving away, all around 5 in the morning.
It doesn't matter about the stuff and all that thing. The food is more important than even some of the other stuff that's there. You know what I mean? What are they going to do with it here? Absolutely nothing, man. Absolutely nothing.
Among the stolen items were nearly 24 barrels and crates, which had been filled with food, clothing, and generators. Donations meant to help those who are recovering from the deadly hurricane.
In 3 weeks, we collect over, I would say maybe $300,000 to $400,000 worth of stuff. That is food, equipment, tools, everything you could name it to go build back houses and feed the people.
Peel police confirmed they came to the storage facility just east of Derry Road and Goreway Drive and say it appears a theft occurred overnight. While the volunteers now work with police in their investigation, they remain strong, vowing not to quit.
They ain't gonna shake us. I think we're gonna do better.
Promising to gather donations again so Jamaica gets the help it needs. Rahim Ladani, CTV News.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump says the future of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement is uncertain, with less than a year left before renegotiations begin.
That's just an ongoing thing. It expires in about a year, and we'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada.
Trump's comments come as the second day of hearings begin in Washington, where many industry leaders are coming out in favor of renewing the trade agreement. Director Quentin Tarantino is sharing his top 20 movie picks of the 21st century, allowing only one film per director, and his choices may surprise you.
Hold on, this is no time to be hysterical.
It's the perfect time to be hysterical.
Toy Story 3 was just shy of topping the list. Tarantino rated this Pixar sequel number 2, describing it as almost a perfect movie. First place went to Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down, while the 20th spot was Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. You can listen to his full list and commentary on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast. Well, it is a very special day for us on Your Morning Vancouver. We're down at Guilford Town Centre to kick off Toy Mountain. Caroline joins us there, looking very festive this morning. Good morning, Caroline. This is actually one of my favorite events of the year because it really does show that the community can really come together when needed to.
Carrie, it's just so beautiful here. Everyone has smiles on their faces. Everyone's here for the right reasons to help others. We've got some of the most generous people here in the Lower Mainland, and it's just such a thrill to be here and seeing the mountain of toys grow by the second. By this time tomorrow, the mountain will be even higher, and by tomorrow night, when this ends, it will be up to the top of the elevator, and you'll love to see it. But first, let's take a look at the forecast. CTV weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. Current temperature pretty cool out there, and it is also raining. Some scattered showers throughout the Lower Mainland and Vancouver. It is wet out there, so careful if you're out and about on the roads. We also have some weather warnings to tell you about. Freezing rain right around 100 Mile, Watson Lake area. 2 to 5 millimeters are expected to fall through late morning, so be careful out there. As for your day ahead for Vancouver, showers off and on throughout the day and into the evening. High of 7 degrees. So stay dry out there, friends, and come on down and see us here at the Guilford Town Centre. Bring a new unwrapped toy or a cash donation for Toy Mountain in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. And with every donation till 10 o'clock, Triple O's is giving away a free breakfast. And hey, speaking of Triple O's, let's do a little scoochy scooch. They're donating free breakfast, and also they donated a whole wad of cash. Thank you, Triple O's. Let's send it back to the newsroom. Carrie.
Wow, $3,000. Thank you so much. Great donation. Thanks, Caroline. We'll check back in with you later. Well, many people in the city are not able to provide for themselves or their pets at this time of year. A volunteer-operated program run by the SPCA does great work to help the most vulnerable. We'll learn more about it and some cute puppies here in studio coming up in our next half hour. But first, we are getting grocery store details as a new report highlights expected prices in 2026, the things you're going to be paying more for. That conversation right after the break. Well, are you wondering how much more you'll have to pony up at the grocery store this year? Canada's 2026 food price report is giving us a snapshot of which foods are expected to cost more. Let's bring in Olivia Romanu from the Canadian Agri-Food Foresight Institute. Good morning, Olivia. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So we're going to dive into some specifics about what things are going to cost more in the coming year. But first, let's start with, according to this report, that Canadians are paying 27% more for food than they did just 5 years ago. So what is driving that?
Yeah, we've seen obviously a lot of volatility on the market in the last 5 years, from the pandemic to supply chain issues, and then the trade disputes this past year that is obviously top of mind for a lot of Canadians. So as you know, there's uncertainty in the market and a lot of shifts in manufacturing and the retail landscape. You're seeing that reflected at the grocery store.
Yeah, people have had to really look around the store and sometimes, you know, buy things that they wouldn't normally buy just to save some money. Let's start with some of the things that are going to cost more going into the new year, specifically meat. How much more are Canadians going to be paying for beef?
Yeah, for beef specifically, in 2025, meat prices increased 7.2%, which was the highest category that we forecasted. And it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down in the next year. I think we forecasted that meat prices will increase between 5 and 7% going into 2026. a lot of that is due to low inventory. So beef cattle heads were at their lowest since I think the 1980s this year, and which is driving a lot of the price increases, as well as climate events, especially in the prairies, that have in fact impacted inventory as well. So with that, typically we look for, Canadians are looking to chicken to compensate for the increasing prices of beef, but chicken as well. We're seeing low inventory due to avian flu and other factors.
Interesting.
Going into 2026.
Interesting. What are we seeing in the dairy aisle? How much more will eggs and milk cost next year?
A little bit less of an increase there. We're looking more at 2 to 4% increases. So a little more stability with dairy and eggs.
All right. The report also expects a 4 to 6% jump when it comes to food prices at restaurants. Why do you think people will eat more at home to make up the difference?
Why people eat more at home. Obviously, food affordability is a concern. I think everyone is looking at ways to save money. A lot of grocers are opening discount banners, discount grocery stores in more central areas so that people have options for affordability. I think a big issue is alcohol sales are also down in restaurants. That makes up a big percentage of their sales. So that is why we're seeing more jumps in prices.
Olivia, just before we let you go here, is there anything in this food report that might surprise Canadians when it comes to what they'll be paying for those specific items?
I think, obviously, as we talked about, beef and chicken, those are probably going to be the most shocking. But on the flip side, also, produce, I think inflation will soften. So I think it'll be surprising to see that maybe those prices won't increase as much as other categories that we're seeing.
Well, that's a little bit of good news to end on there. Olivia Romanu from the Canadian Agri-Food Foresight Institute. Thanks for joining and breaking down the food price report for 2026.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a good day. Well, a party in Brooklyn's going viral. The ultimate stoop session with a live band, huge sound system and lights. Oh, this looks like fun. Your morning sidebar is just ahead. And 'tis the season for giving. We're live at Toy Mountain at Guilford Town Centre. Watching the Toy Mountain grow this morning, checking in with our friends down there, and we'll tell you how you can help grow this Toy Mountain. We're checking in with Caroline after the break. Have you ever been down to Toy Mountain and seeing that Toy Mountain grow?
I've never been to the Guildford one, but I used to live in Victoria and they had one there too at Uptown Mall. And it was crazy to see it grow every year.
Yeah, it's so great to see the community coming together. You can drop off your new unwrapped toy or make a donation down there. Today and tomorrow, we're live down there. We'll check in with Caroline in just a couple of minutes.
And you get a breakfast sandwich.
I know. Good deal, right?
Crazy. That is a win-win. Well, it's time for your sidebar. Well, some people love pranking others, including their pets.
Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my
God. This cat was sure surprised by the pregnancy, given that it's a male cat. The vet tech was obviously joking around, and his reaction to the announcement
God, you're pregnant.
is perfect. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. The cat's like, hilarious. I don't speak English, 1, and 2, I'm a boy. Crazy. Now to mom's reaction after being pranked by her daughters.
I need to go to the doctor. I truly need to. I need to go to the doctor. I don't remember any of these pictures.
That's hilarious.
Are you on this too?
So mom thought she was losing her mind because her daughters convinced her that she once wore this turkey costume with her grandkids even, just the year prior.
Oh my gosh.
And then wanted her to do it again. Of course, they had made these pictures using AI. I think Google Gemini does this actually.
Oh my goodness.
Even getting their dad involved, so mom had to panic there.
You know what? Like, my kids will talk about things that we did when we were younger, and sometimes my memory lapses. Like, I actually don't remember us doing that. So this is like a prank that I could relate to.
It's hurtful.
It is. It is.
I'm gonna have to come up with some AI images of you later. Finally, a block party, but Brooklyn style. So they call this a stoop session in the NYC. It's the ultimate block party with a live band, a huge sound system, lights, and a huge crowd. This is a neo-soul stoop session organized by the Soapbox. They put this on every Saturday.
That would be a great way to spend a Saturday.
That is community right there.
It is. Come out and enjoy some music and leave feeling good.
Camaraderie, and I'm sure it's cold now on Saturdays, but they warm up together.
Yeah, love that.
And that's all for your sidebar.
Thanks, Mona. Well, a climber has made history 3,000 feet up.
Three of the climb, my fingertips were bleeding from like every tip.
I think it's day 4.5 of this storm.
How she became the first woman to tackle the longest route of a very famous cliff. Wow, that's just ahead.
Step down. I mean, there's been all this opposition.
I'm not stepping down, guys. I've got to get in quick.
Controversy for the BC Conservative Party saying it's ousted John Rustad as leader. He says not so fast.
If you're looking to fill up on gas, today might be the day with your wallet feeling a little bit of relief. According to Gas Wizard, gas prices are down. We'll have all the details right here on Your Morning Vancouver.
Currently still the leader of the party. Nothing has changed since we discussed this morning.
Chaos within the BC Conservative Party. Party says it's ousted its leader, but John Rustad says he's not going anywhere. Some relief at the gas pump. What's behind the drop and how low prices are expected to go? And a BC winery that has a lot to toast after being named one of the best in the world. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, December 4th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. Well, if you're looking to save on gas, today might be the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey for us this morning. Good morning. So what are the prices like there this morning?
Yeah, Carrie, the prices are slightly lower here in Guildford than Vancouver, but regardless, everybody will be saving at the pump today. If you're looking to fill up and your gas tank looks anything like mine, which is less than half empty, you're going to want to hit those pumps as soon as possible. But let's get into what the prices look like. Again, slightly lower here in Guildford, but according to Gas Wizard, right now in Vancouver, it's about $1.49 for regular and $1.79 for premium, both dropping around 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday is where we saw a real drop, both regular and premium dropping about a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. Now, I spoke with Dan McTagg from Canadians for Affordable Energy. He says this drop in price has to do with the Olympic pipeline south of the border, where 2 leaks were found, impacting prices here for us up north.
Had a leak. They found 2 of them, actually, one on the main line and one near Seattle.
Okay, so the big question.
So McTagg says.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to one thing add really quickly. If you're looking to save long-term, McTagg does say going forward, you should try and fill up after 6 o'clock, saving you hundreds of dollars each year. And that goes for any day, not just days like today. We are seeing those prices drop.
Okay, so what I was going to ask is, are prices going to continue to drop? Are we going to see prices go lower? Can we hold off longer in filling our gas tank up?
Yeah. Well, you know, McTagg told me this is kind of as low as it's going to get, maybe within a couple of cents, but you really should try to get to the pump today.
Fill up while you can. Okay, thanks for that. Well, the BC Conservative Party is left to pick up the pieces this morning after declaring John Rustad out as leader. However, Rustad says he is not going anywhere. In a social media statement, Rustad said, quote, "I have not resigned. I have not been removed. I am not going anywhere." This after the Conservatives' board of directors passed a motion deeming Rustad, quote, "professionally incapacitated and unable to continue as leader." The vote came after a majority of caucus told the party's legal counsel they had lost confidence in Rustad's leadership. Party members then chose MLA Trevor Halford as interim leader.
What I've been calling for is stability, and I think it's paramount that we get stability inside of our caucus. I think it's paramount that we get stability with our party.
With the fall sitting of the legislature now officially over, it's not clear who the leader of the official opposition is. The Conservative caucus is expected to meet in the coming days to figure out next steps. Well, Premier David Eby is trying his best to hold on to 350 jobs at a pulp mill slated for permanent closure. Domtar announced the closure of its Crofton facility earlier this week, sending the Cowichan Valley reeling. Learning about the loss of hundreds of good-paying jobs right before the holidays has been devastating. The company claims tariffs are not the main issue, instead blaming the closure on government regulations.
Once you lose those, they're pretty hard to get back. And these are people who, they shop at our local businesses, that contribute a lot to our local economy.
We're all hands on deck to try to figure out if there's some way to keep this facility operating.
The issue is fiber supply, and so if we can't do it, it's a real challenge for anybody to come in.
Domtar says logging approvals that used to take weeks now take years, and that they've been importing wood fiber from the U.S. to keep the operation running. Well, 4 more bears in Bella Coola have been captured to be tested to determine if they were involved in a brutal attack on students and teachers last month. The BC Conservation Officer Service said in an online post that the 4 animals were safely captured yesterday and evidence is being collected for testing. It adds the 4 other bears captured last week were successfully released after forensic evidence confirmed they were not associated with the attack. 3 children and a teacher were badly injured after a trio of bears attacked the group of 20 during a field trip last month. The mayor of Surrey is warning the new ballooning budget from the Surrey Police Service will mean a hefty property tax hike for residents, but critics say she's playing politics. Brenda Locke strongly opposes the $91 million increase in the Surrey Police Service's provisional budget of more than $330 million. She says the increase will fall on the taxpayers and result in an 18% property tax hike. Her response is something that took the chair of the Surrey Police Board by surprise.
The board's responsibility is to ensure SPS has the resources required to keep Surrey safe. We requested a meeting with mayor and council. I believe we're at 3 times now through the board and have not had a response yet.
City Councillor Linda Annis is refuting Locke's position. She says the funding for this increase is there and increases should be expected. A deadly collision involving a pedestrian in Burnaby is under investigation. Mounties say it happened on Kingsware near Edmund Street just after 7 p.m. Monday night. They say the driver did remain on scene, but they aren't sharing any more details about the victim or the vehicle involved. Investigators are seeking dash cam video and witnesses as they try to figure out what happened in the moments leading up to the collision. Well, Vancouver is celebrating a major homecoming for adaptive sport. The Adaptive Sailing Association of BC has announced the 2026 Mobility Cup will return to the city where it all began. From September 8th to the 12th, sailors from around the world will race at Jericho Beach for the regatta's 35th anniversary. First launched in Vancouver in 1991, the Mobility Cup aims to prove anyone can sail regardless of ability. The last time Vancouver hosted was in 2010. Amazing. Well, the first road trip in Vancouver, Golden Eye's history has come to an end, but on a sour note.
And Hartman's on a one-timer. Loose in front. Oh, what a great save, but it goes! The rebound finds its way through. And
The expansion side came up short last night against the Boston Fleet, losing 2-0. After winning their opening game, the Golden Eyes had a rough stretch away from the Pacific Coliseum, losing all 3 games on the road. The Golden Eyes now return home to host the New York Sirens Saturday at noon. Well, a winery in the Okanagan has been named one of the best in the world. Mission Hill Family Estates in West Kelowna has landed a spot in the 2025 Top 50 Vineyards. It's the only Canadian entry in the list, which is chosen by a voting academy comprised of sommeliers, travel experts, and industry specialists. The BC winery is featured alongside vineyards in Champagne, Bordeaux, Roja, and the Napa Valley. Mission Hill has been in operation since 1981 by the Von Mandel family, who still operates the business. Congratulations. Well, over in Ontario, the Kitchener Rangers have marked 30 years of the teddy bear toss. Rangers scored their first goal of the game in the second, sending teddy bears flying onto the ice. Fans stepped up for the 30th teddy bear toss. Almost 10,000 stuffies were collected this year. Oh my gosh, look at that. They will be distributed throughout the community. Oh, it's such great work there. And we are doing our own great work down at Toy Mountain. It's a big day there down at Guilford Town Centre. Today and tomorrow we are live there as we watch that mountain grow. Good morning, Caroline. How's it going down there?
It's going fabulous, Carrie. The music is playing. People are already coming in to donate so early. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I thought I was sassy with my hat on. Nope. I dare you to find a better outfit. You can't. Thank you for donating. Okay. Yes, we are accepting donations. This is live TV, friends. Come on in and donate all the toys. New unwrapped toys, all for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau, courtesy of Toy Mountain. We're also accepting cash donations. So put on your wet weather gear and get on down here to Guilford Town Centre. Let's take a look at the forecast. There's light rain out there right now. Temperatures are pretty mild, but yes, it is rainy and it will remain that way throughout the day. Take a look at the weather warnings now. There's freezing rain right around the 100 Mile House, Watson Lake area. 2 to 5 millimeters are expected to fall through late this morning, so be careful out there. As for your day ahead for Vancouver, showers on and off throughout the day and into the evening, and a high of 7 degrees. So come on down to Guilford Town Centre, bring a new unwrapped toy, put some smiles on the faces of some kids from the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Look, we're already starting to see a lot of toys. We've only been up and running for just a little over 2 hours, but a whole lot of toys are coming in. We're not done yet, friends. We're here through tomorrow night, so bring those new toys and help the kids for the holidays. Carrie.
Yeah, and we want them unwrapped, so people just bring them down as they are, and it's going to be taken care of elsewhere.
Yes, and I will be putting Winnie. I'll be putting Winnie back. I'm getting all my bears and mice mixed up right now, but yeah, I'll be putting Winnie back.
Yes, you will. It's going to go to someone else.
They
Thanks,
won't let
Caroline.
me keep. Yeah, it's not mine.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. We'll move over Spotify Wrapped. Google is out with its own gift. The top searches that define 2025. Google Canada has released the list. That's still to come. But first, a volunteer-operated program run by the SPCA does such great work to help the most vulnerable people and pets in the city. We're going to learn more about it with some cute puppies right here in studio. Stick around for that. Well, 'tis the season to give and give back. Many people in the city are not able to provide for themselves or their pets. That's why they turn to Charlie's Pet Food Bank, a volunteer-operated program run by the SPCA. Here with how you can help make it a happy holiday for the most vulnerable people and their pets is Jody Dunlop, branch manager at the Vancouver SPCA. Good morning, Jody.
Good morning.
And thanks for bringing in Nala. This is Nala on my lap here. And who do you have?
This is Simba.
Simba, yes, you see the theme here, right? Thank you for bringing them in. We're going to learn more about them in a minute. But first, let's talk more about Charlie's Food Bank. And for those who don't know what it is, tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, so Charlie's Food Bank this year is celebrating their 25th anniversary.
Wow.
And it is December 9th. We're asking all the people on the downtown east side to come out and join us from 11 till 1. Sorry. Santa will be there for pictures, and then we give out food and toys, collars, leashes, whatever people need to help support them through the holidays and year-round. Charlie's Food Bank is every Tuesday down at Jacob's Well.
Okay. So, like many food banks across the province, Charlie's has been running low on supplies. This really is donor-driven.
Yes, it's all donor-driven. We don't have the funding to actually fund the program, so we really rely on the generosity of the public to help us out and help the people that are less fortunate.
And I know that every year there's a holiday party at Charlie's Food Bank. Tell us a little bit about why that is so important to the people who attend.
Well, you know, it brings spirit to them, right? They get the free photo with Santa, and then they can get a few new things for their animals while they're there, and there's usually treats for the humans as well. So it's a great day.
Yeah, and I imagine if you don't have a lot, if you are relying on the pet food bank, you're looking for that sense of community, aren't you?
Yeah, and you know, these people take such good care of their pets, and their pets are their life. A lot of them don't have family, and Christmas is a tough time for everybody.
Yeah, it really is. How can people help if they want to help Charlie's Pet Food Bank?
There is a wish list on Amazon, or they can come in and donate right at the center.
Are there certain things that you're looking for there?
Cat food, dry and wet, dog food, dry and wet, and then of course toys, lots of toys. Everybody likes a new toy at Christmas.
Right. Yes. Those are the extra things that maybe people wouldn't necessarily be able to splurge on, but to have those for your pet.
Yeah, and treats. You know, we go through a lot of treats. It's nice to be able to support with litter and food supplies, but all the animals also need treats.
Everyone likes treats, right, Nala? Okay, let's talk about these two. They will be up for adoption very soon.
Yes, probably within the next week. We actually have 3 of them that'll be available.
What kind of dogs are these?
These are purebred miniature dachshunds.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah. So we'll be screening people that know about the breed and their specific needs.
Okay, and what kind of home would they be looking for then?
They're great with people, but you know, we need people to understand that dachshunds do come with health problems later on in life, and so making sure they have pet insurance and are able to afford their needs if something does go wrong. Back injuries are very common in dachshunds because of the long body.
Oh, interesting. A lot of people probably don't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ear problems, teeth problems. Like, there can be a lot of health issues with them. So we just want to prepare people because we don't want to see these guys come back in a few years because something medically happened and the new owner can't afford to treat them. So we're really going to push pet insurance.
Okay. And you know what? These will make lovely pets for someone. I know that for sure. That's right, Nala. She's very vocal this morning. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Jody, and bringing in, why did I forget Simba and Nala. I know I've got Nala. Thank you so much. And if everyone wants more information, they can contact the BCSVCA.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in, Jody.
I think it's day 4.5. This storm.
Well, a climber has made history, 3,000 feet up. How she became the first woman to tackle the longest route of a very famous cliff, that's still to come. And students are working hard ahead of Christmas to create toys for kids with disabilities. We'll take you inside this unique Santa workshop coming up. And it's starting to look like a Santa workshop down at Guilford Town Centre as we're watching Toy Mountain grow. We'll take you there live. Stick around. We're back after a short break.
Today is CTV's Toy Mountain. We're at Guilford Town Centre today and tomorrow, collecting new unwrapped toys in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Come say hi, drop off your donation, and together we'll put smiles on a whole lot of faces for the holidays. Can't make it out and still want to help? We gotcha. Donate online at ctvvancouver.ca. Toy Mountain is made possible by our friends at Alpine Credits, Applewood Auto Group, and Triple O's.
And Caroline is at Toy Mountain. Caroline, you've been down there all morning since 6 a.m. and we have been watching Toy Mountain grow, and it's going to grow so much more by the end of the next couple of days. But you've been seeing a lot of people dropping things off.
Yes. As the morning went on, more toys came in, and you love to see it. Now I'm surrounded, and clearly I'm under siege right now. Toys everywhere. Toys everywhere. Right in the bucket. Yes, toys everywhere, and you love to see it. No complaints here. They're stuffed toys, yeah, so it's all good. So come on, bring your new unwrapped toy to Guilford Town Center now through tomorrow night, and put some smiles on the kids' faces in the Lower Mainland for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. So get out your umbrellas because you're going to need it. Let's take a look at the forecast. The almanac, your almanac right now, it is really cool out there. 7 degrees will be the high today, which is about the average. Last year, we were chilly, 4 degrees. The record was 14, hit back in 1939. The forecast highs for the province, take a look at this, pretty wet throughout. I mean, it's December. This is what you get. Some mixed precipitation in the southern interior as well. A little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, a little bit of everything. Keep your head on a swivel. Your 5-day for Vancouver, rain, 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 rain. That was 5, right? Yes, some breaks this afternoon, but a wet one ahead. Temperatures pretty mild, though, hovering around the double digits. So come on down to Guilford Town Center, Toy Mountain. I'm surrounded by toys. Been getting hit by them, but no complaints here. Just hanging out with me and my friends here. Carrie, come on down. New unwrapped toy or cash donations, and get a free breakfast by Triple O's while you're at it till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. Thanks for that, Caroline. We'll check back in with you later. Okay, 8:24 right now. Now to an epic climb by a rock star climber. Nearly a decade after pulling off a world first, she's back at it again, this time becoming the first woman to tackle the longest route of a very famous cliff. ABC's Danny New reports.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh my gosh, Sasha. So you probably don't have a fear of heights, right?
No, I don't think I have a fear of heights.
I think we could say that. I think we know. Climber Sasha DeJulian just returned from making history 3,000 feet up as she became the first woman to free climb the longest route of Yosemite's El Capitan.
Arguably the most iconic rock formation in the world.
The 33-year-old has already been a climbing superstar for more than a decade.
Going to be sleeping like this tonight.
ABC News profile turned 2017 after she became the first woman to free climb Africa's Mora Mora, which was right around the time she, and this is true, became the inspiration for the design of the woman climbing emoji.
Career highlight, creating the emoji.
Until now.
Until now.
But until now, Sasha had never experienced anything like her 23-day trip up El Cap. First off, it's grueling to climb 3,000 feet of granite.
The majority of the climb, my fingertips were bleeding from like every tip.
I think it's day 4.5 of this storm.
And then there was the 9-day holding pattern, when a storm of rain and snow held Sasha captive in a tent fastened 2,600 feet above the ground.
There's like ice chunks falling from the summit, like 400 feet above us.
But once it cleared, Sasha got back to business. And after 23 days total, when she finally reached the summit and history, she had perhaps a surprising reaction.
Like when I got to the summit, I started laughing because all of a sudden I took a step on solid ground and I hadn't walked in 23 days.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is amazing how climbers, I mean, she obviously did that, but you see climbers all the time, they attach like hammocks to the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
And then they just sleep there and live there.
And wait for ice storms to pass there.
Or just to have a sleep before you head on and keep climbing.
I can't get over how her hands looked. I can't get over how, I'm sure she has gloves, but in a lot of that video, so who's taking the video?
Someone else that is
That's
also
wild.
a good climber.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Like, hats off to her. What a badass. I could never.
Yeah.
As I always say.
Maybe, but you never know, Mona. You never know.
I don't think so.
Okay, it's 8:26. Here's the view of Robson Street. Yeah, it's wet out there, but still looks festive. You can see the Christmas lights there, but yeah, pack your umbrella today if you are heading out. Here now is a look at your top stories. We have breaking news out of of Vancouver this morning. Police say criminality was not a factor in the death of an 8-year-old girl who fell from a Yale town high-rise last month. In an update, the VPD says after an investigation from the Major Crimes Unit, they've determined this was a tragic accident. Gandam Taheri was visiting her father's 23rd floor condo in Yale town on November 11th when she fell from the balcony and died. She was remembered at her funeral in Squamish as a kind little soul who brought joy to everyone around her. We're getting a clearer idea this morning of how much more expensive food is going to get in the coming year. The latest food price report has been released, and it's expected your grocery bill will take up a much bigger share of your household budget in 2026. The report, produced by several Canadian universities, is projecting an average family of 4 will pay nearly $1,000 more for food in 2026 compared to this year. The report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. Some of the factors driving up food prices this year are the trade war, the end of Ottawa's tax holiday, and the soaring cost for beef. The report also expects chicken prices will go up substantially next year. Well, there's a bit of good news for you this morning, though. If you're looking to save on gas, today might be the day. Gas prices in Vancouver have dropped more than a dime. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Surrey for us this morning. Good morning, Dimitra. I think I just got the first start of the price drops yesterday when I filled up at 151.9 in Vancouver. It's dropped this morning. Tell us what it's at this morning where you are.
Yeah, Carrie, so it's a little bit lower here than it is in Vancouver. I'm in Guilford right now, but I don't know about you, but there's nothing I love more than savings, and that's exactly what's going to happen here at the pumps. But let's get into the numbers. Now, if you're passing a pump in Vancouver, according to Gas Wizard, right now it's about $1.49 for regular and $1.79 for premium, both dropping around 4 cents from yesterday. But Wednesday, well, that's where we saw a real drop, with both regular and premium dropping around a dime. For context, at the beginning of this month, prices were at $1.63 for regular and $1.93 for premium. We spoke with Dan McTagg from Canadians for Affordable Energy. He says this drop in price has to do with the Olympic pipeline south of the border, where there were 2 leaks impacting the prices for us up north.
It was really a benefit because it dropped prices rather substantially in one fell swoop.
Now, these are the lowest prices that we're going to see, according to McTagg, within a couple of cents. So you're going to want to try and hit the pumps. Now, McTagg says if you're looking to save long term, try hitting the pumps after 6 o'clock, where you're sure to save several $100s each year.
Oh, okay.
Carrie?
Good tip this morning. Dimitra Maragos joining us. Thanks for that. Well, Ottawa is pushing ahead with a plan to slash the size of the public service. Early retirement and pension waivers were sent out to about 68,000 public servants who may be eligible for the program. The feds want to cut the number of public servants by about 40,000. Just last month, the head of the union representing government workers said she didn't expect many members to sign up for early retirement because of the high cost of living. We're now hearing from former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault, who resigned last week over a disagreement in climate policy.
Needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
Interview with CTV's Power Play, Guilbeault says the math just doesn't add up. He resigned hours after Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith unveiled a new memorandum of understanding that paves the way for a pipeline to BC. Guilbeault says Alberta's increase to its industrial carbon pricing is not enough to mitigate the rollback of other climate policies. He also believes Canada's goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050 is in jeopardy. A handful of federal cabinet ministers will address the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa today, but 2 ministers helping to advance Prime Minister Mark Carney's push for major projects have been taken off the agenda. AFN chiefs unanimously passed a resolution calling for an MOU on a pipeline to BC's coast to be rescinded. Carney spoke with chiefs Tuesday in an attempt to quell their concerns about the agreement he signed with Alberta. Energy Minister Tim Hodgson and Defense Minister David McGuinty were scheduled to appear today, but are not on the list of speakers anymore. Well, some holiday travel could be disrupted as Air Transat pilots have voted to go on strike as early as next week. The union says that 99% of pilots voted to walk off the job as part of their pressure tactics. The pilots say they want industry standard pay and better working conditions. They'll give 72 hours notice beforehand, but could go on strike next Wednesday.
Member strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
Air Transat has struggled amid stiff competition for vacation destinations and a large debt burden. It's also dealing with engine recalls that have grounded 4 of its 43 planes. A Calgary teen is facing charges related to AI-generated child sexual abuse material. The Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team's Internet Child Exploitation Unit has charged a high school student after using a search warrant at a home on November 13th. It's alleged that AI technology was used to sexualize photos of teen girls who attended several different high schools in the Calgary area.
Away from today is that we need people to understand that this is not a joke, it's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior.
Police are not identifying the suspect nor the high schools in order to protect the identity of the victims, who have all been provided with support services. Well, just a day after being battered by a powerful winter storm, Atlantic Canada is bracing for a blast of bitter cold and more snowy weather.
Cold, damp, no power for quite a while, actually, this morning.
Well, it's Canada, so expect the unexpected, I guess.
Heavy snow, strong winds, and ice pellets knocked out power to thousands and shut down a major highway. The system is bringing a round of rain and snow today and then a deep chill into tonight. Wind chills are expected to drop to -30 into Friday morning. Well, Google Canada is out with its year in review, highlighting the searches that defined 2025. The company says our national pride was on full display, with the Blue Jays dominating trends, including searches for players like George Springer and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Pulp culture was also top of mind as Canadians tried to learn more about La Boo Boo and the internet slang term 6'7". Searches also spiked for key political figures like Mark Carney, Zohran Mamdani, and Jagmeet Singh. As for our top questions, Canadians wanted to know, why is Canada Post on strike? Why did Trudeau resign? And why do baseball players spit? Why do they? Well, a Victoria woman says the greatest gift is finding a stranger who looks just like you. Coming up, Doppelganger Delight, how 2 identical strangers have their lives changed by meeting their mirror image. Also, the annual Make It show kicks off at the Peony Forum today. We're going to get a sneak peek at some of the handmade goods and learn more about the exciting expansion to 2 full weekends. Stick around.
Travel Zoo has released its top travel destinations for Canadians in 2026. Only 5 destinations received the honor, dubbed Travel Zoo Best Bets. And those that make the list typically check a lot of travel boxes for Canadians. Joining us this morning with the details is Susan Cato, Head of Publishing and Production at Travel Zoo. Good morning to you, Susan.
Good morning.
So, Susan, before you reveal the list to us, tell us how you pick these destinations.
Well, we're looking for places that are really going to be great for Canadians in 2026. So can you get there easily from Canada? Is it affordable for Canadians? And can you be sure that you're going to have a really exceptional holiday experience? And we're also looking for that little extra something that makes 2026 the year to go.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's dive right in. What are some of the best bets of 2026?
Well, we love Colombia. This nation has featured many more flights lately, and they'll be adding flights through 2026. So it'll just be a one-stop trip from Vancouver. And once you're there, it's one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. You can, hang out on the Caribbean coast. You can go up into the Andean mountains. You can explore the Amazonian rainforest. There are all kinds of things you can do there. Wherever you go, you're going to have the famous, Colombian homegrown coffee and a really warm and welcoming travel experience.
All right, you had me at coffee. Next up, you have a Canadian destination.
Right. Niagara-on-the-Lake is a fantastic place to go year-round. It's got the Shaw Festival. It's got one of the prettiest main streets in the whole country with these kind of 19th century buildings. And we love it in winter, though, because that's when, you can curl up by the fire with a glass of ice wine. You can go explore kind of vineyards with twinkling lights. There are local festivals. There's even a winter version of the Shaw Festival with like seasonal shows. It's a really nice place for an adult romantic getaway because of the fantastic restaurants they have, and also very well known for its spas and wellness treatments.
Ooh, I love that. Now for a destination that's easy to get to from our West Coast.
Everybody loves a beach vacation, especially Canadians. And what we love about Mexico is, again, you have so many different experiences you can have. We like the all-inclusive resorts by Marriott Bonvoy. They have so many different choices, whether, say you want to go to Cabo and maybe you want to explore some surf towns, or you're more interested in checking out the Mayan ruins, in the Mayan Riviera, or the nightlife in Cancun. You can do all of these, and wherever you go, you're going to have that fantastic Mexican sunshine, the beaches, the cocktails, and all the fantastic food.
Love it. Now, next up, you have a Middle Eastern pick that I've really been hearing has become a hot spot for the last few years. Tell us about that.
Yes, Saudi Arabia aims to become a leading tourist destination by 2030. So they've taken some steps to, bring that about.
Okay, and you have one more to round up the list. Tell us about Albania really quickly.
Yeah, Albania, if you think a bit like Croatia or Greece, but without the crowds and less expensive, this is a really up-and-coming destination where you can visit cities, you can, see amazing like canyons, you can explore this kind of stone city and all these wonderful historic places as well. So it's a really neat place to go.
Susan,
now's the time.
Lots of great tips there and great spots, some of which I had never considered. So I'm adding all of those to my list. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning. And people can find out more about that list over at travelzoo.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Hey there, friends. Caroline Frolic here at Guilford Town Center. Yes, it is Toy Mountain. It is day one. It is hour 3, and we've already got a mountain of toys behind us. So come on down here, bring your new unwrapped toy in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. We're here through tomorrow night. Let's build a mountain to put some smiles on some kids' faces for the holidays. This will not bring a smile to your face, the forecast, unless, of course, you like rain. I don't know. Let's take a look at the forecast, shall we? It's rainy out there, yes, and it's about 6-7 degrees. As for the weather warnings, we do have some in effect. A freezing rain around the 100-mile region, 2 to 5 millimeters will be falling through late this morning. As for your day ahead for the city of Vancouver, showers off and on throughout the day and into the evening, and a high of 7 degrees. So as I keep saying all morning, grab your umbrella, grab your coat, come on down to Guilford Town Center and bring a new unwrapped toy or a cash donation for Toy Mountain in support of the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. We've got some Christmas elves here from Streetside. Come on in, Jonathan from Streetside. Good morning. You and your friends have been busy unloading some toys today. Why is it so important for Streetside to be here today?
Well, it's a chance for us to give back to the community. We live and work here, and we know times are difficult right now, so a little bit to help families out, yeah.
And how long has Streetside been involved? This ain't your first rodeo.
No, I think I've lost count, but a good 8 years at least that we've been coming along and donating to this cause every year.
8 years of donating toys. Yes, a big bin of toys. And also, not only that, a big fat check too. Thank you. How much have you guys donated?
We're donating $2,500 this year, and hopefully that can fill the gap where I know some age groups don't always get the gifts they need, so hopefully this will fill that bit out.
That's very important. All families, all children need to be looked after this holiday season. Thank you, Jonathan from Streetside, and thank you, Streetside Elves. They're quiet today. They just want to wave. They're unloading toys. They're exhausted. But again, come on down to Guilford Town Center now through tomorrow night. Bring new unwrapped toys for kids of all ages, and let's help build a mountain. By this time tomorrow night, By tomorrow night, it should be up to the top of that elevator. It happens, believe it or not. We've only been here 3 hours and we've already got a mini mountain going on. So come on down. And by the way, until 10 o'clock today and tomorrow morning, if you donate, you get a free breakfast from Triple O's. What's not to love, Carrie?
Sounds great. Thanks for that, Caroline. Well, the annual Make It show is back, kicking off at the Peony Forum today. And this year, Vancouver's beloved show is featuring 2 weekends, not just one. Joining us now to tell us more about it is the founder of Make It. We have Jenna joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for bringing in all these locally made products. Yeah. You're doing 2 weekends this year. This is the first time you've done 2 weekends back to back.
It is the first time. Yeah, we've just seen how supportive Vancouver is of Make It and all these amazing Canadian local brands. So we just feel like we're going to go big this year and have 2 weekends of fun.
Are more people really interested in buying local, buying Canadian right now because of the whole movement that we're seeing?
I would say so. Yeah, I would definitely feel like there's just a strong movement to support people doing what they love. I think entrepreneurship is a lot more recognized and valued now too, which is so great.
How have local vendors been able to manage dealing with tariffs and some of the other, geopolitical events that have been happening right now? How is it impacting these local producers?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I feel like a lot of small businesses in Vancouver and in Canada in general are really holding on. And coming out to Make It's a great way to support them and really hear the story behind the product, because that's one thing you don't get online. You don't get that personal interaction that happens.
You will meet the person who probably made the item that
you will see the hands of the person that actually did the thing, which is pretty cool. And I think something that people really, really value these days too.
Okay, and you brought in a lot of different items here, and we're not going to talk about all of them, but I just want to point out a couple of really neat ones. These are all local Canadian designers. Like, you're going to get beautiful things like toques. And what are these fuzzy socks?
Those are insoles. Aren't those cool?
Oh, those would be very warm.
You can turn all your shoes into slippers.
Oh my gosh, that feels like a nice cozy bear under your feet there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to talk about this. This is a syrup dispenser. So this is an actual tap that's going to pour out syrup.
Yeah. From Tap Tree. Apparently you could put wine in there too, which is very handy for your holiday party. But just really cool, innovative products that I don't think you'll find anywhere else.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Leather belts. We have soaps down here. Fun, fluffy pillows.
This is my friend Monster. These are all made out of reclaimed, repurposed sweaters. So everyone is one of a kind. This Monster's name, it says, is Florence. So you can take Florence home with you.
Oh, I love that. I love that it has its own name. Of course, candles, and who doesn't love candles? These are great gifts for this time of year. And I love these sort of personalized pillows. These are like, was it Sylvia Hotel on the front of this one?
Yeah, that is,
Local landmarks.
Exactly. Yeah, you just can find things that you don't even think you maybe need, but you see it, and there's just that connection. And I feel like a lot of our shoppers actually have an idea of starting a business. So we call our community the Makeys, and it's just really wonderful to see how it's grown. It's been 17 years now that we've run the show in Vancouver.
Incredible. So with 2 weekends, is it the same vendors from weekend to weekend?
No, they rotate. So we have some that are doing both weekends, and about half are doing the first weekend, and about half are doing the second weekend. And we have a kids zone this year, Santa photos, so the whole shebang, and it's all inside, which is always nice this time of year too.
Well, it's not going to be a great weekend, so a nice weekend to be able to be inside and check out some of the local vendors. If someone is watching this and is an artist or is a vendor and wants to take part, is it too late for this year?
Ooh, that is cutting it close, but you can always try to go on our website, and we would love to sneak in a few last-minute makeys for weekend too.
Okay,
why not?
Or maybe just hold off until next year.
Sure, come to the show, check it out, and it's going to be so much fun.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so if people are interested in attending, the days and the hours, can you give us a rundown?
So kicks off today. So Thursday 5 to 9, and then Friday 11 till 9, Saturday 10 till 5, and then Sunday 10 till 6.
Same hours for the following weekend.
Same hours for the following weekend.
Wow, so much time to go local and shop Canadian.
Yeah, exactly.
Jenna, thank you so much for joining us this morning and telling us about the Make It show. Congratulations on 2 weekends. That's fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Great exposure for a lot of local businesses.
Totally.
Wonderful. All right, stay with us. We're back after a short break with the Sawatsky sign-off, and we're going to check back in with Caroline at Toy Mountain. Well, a group of UBC students have transformed their classroom into Santa's workshop. These biomedical engineering students are taking a break from designing next-generation medical devices to adapt toys for children with disabilities across the Lower Mainland. The students are partnering with the Makers Making Change program and retrofitting off-the-shelf toys to make them switch accessible so that kids with limited mobility can independently play.
An actual physical switch that you could push with your cheek, you can push with your elbow, you can push with your leg, whatever part of your body has the most strength and control, you can use that to control the toy.
I think it's really important that engineers and undergraduate students like myself can see ourselves making this huge impact towards community. We're not, doing it just as a profession, but we're doing it for a passion of helping others in need.
The group says commercially adapted accessible toys can cost more than $300, and the students' modified toys are a fraction of the cost. Now the program will team up with Santa to deliver these toys before Christmas morning. Way to go. Well, have you ever been scrolling online and found something unexpected? Well, that is what happened to one Victoria woman who thought she was staring back at herself on a stranger's profile. Adam explains their connection in this morning's Sawatsky sign-off.
When Felicia Harding looked at her phone that day, she never expected to see a stranger smiling from the screen who looked just like her.
I was blown away. She really did look like me.
She was Brittany Delaney, who was also surprised when a friend said she found her doppelganger on social media.
If I wouldn't have been looking at somebody else's profile, I would have thought they were photos of me.
After connecting online, Brittany and Felicia finally met in person.
There it is. And it was like this out-of-body experience where I felt like this is how people see me.
They found their similarities range from the superficial, like being able to unlock each other's phones and liking exactly the same beer, to the more substantial, like both working as entrepreneurs and both picking musicians as their partners.
There's a million things that are the same.
They formed a fast friendship, and Brittany was invited to Felicia's wedding, where, after family kept mixing them up, the women decided to do a DNA test.
A little surprised in finding out that we were both not related at all.
Although they aren't long-lost siblings, both women do feel like sisters. Even Brittany's son often can't tell them apart.
And they have like a crazy bond. He just loves her.
Loves her so much that if you show the boy a picture of Felicia and ask who it is,
It's the other mama.
The other mama.
Yes.
which brings us to the women's big difference. Their fertility journeys. Felicia hasn't been able to have kids.
Feeling like an auntie and, feeling like other mama. To me, that's really special.
But the greatest gift in finding your doppelganger, they say, is seeing yourself from a whole new perspective.
Felt, almost a little bit healing for me, because sometimes there are things you don't like about yourself, but then watching her and interacting with her, I was just like, I think she's so lovely.
A sense of self-acceptance. That's perhaps a reminder to all of us to be kinder to the reflection we see in the mirror. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
And it's so wow. I guess there's so many combinations that nature can come up with. Either that or there's a mold out there and it just got duplicated.
Yeah, someone Control-C, Control-V by accident. That is incredible.
They look identical.
And I love their bond and, the fertility issues. I really hope she's able to have her own child, but I'm amazed that they're able to share, really, that son.
Don't you want to find out if your doppelganger is out there?
Absolutely, I do. I know there's somewhere out there like Eastern Europe.
I want to see mine. If you have a photo, send it in. Okay, well, Toy Mountain is back at Guilford Town Centre. Caroline's been there all morning. Hey, Caroline.
Hi, I found my doppelganger. Samesies. Yes, I'm here at Guilford Town Centre. Come on down now through tomorrow night. Bring a new unwrapped toy for the Lower Mainland Christmas Bureau. Help put some smiles on some kids' faces for the holidays. We also accept cash donations. By this time tomorrow night, this will be a mountain of toys for people along the Lower Mainland. So you love to see it. Come on down, bring some Christmas cheer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Love it.
Thanks, Caroline. I know Anne's going to be down there later on at 5 and 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So thanks, Caroline.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline.
Enjoy.
It's a great time to go down also and like see the behind the scenes of TV production too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people down there. It'd be great.
Super cool.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks,
Hope you
everyone.
enjoy your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.